Greetings there, gold seekers. This is Tim for Blue Lead Gold Productions. I am nowhere near the Yuba. It's the middle of winter. It's too darn cold up there, and they've been getting just bombarded with an atmospheric river of storms. I am instead on the beautiful north shore of the island of Oahu at one of my favorite surfing beaches, a beach called Laniakea. Now, unfortunately, the waves are a little on the big side for an old man like me up here today. And so I thought I'd take this as an opportunity to tell you some stuff about mining history, and in particular mining history around the town of Downieville. There was a newspaper up in Downieville back in the day called the Sierra Citizen, and UC Riverside actually has a online database where you can go and you can read old articles from that newspaper. And in particular, you can read the articles in the section of the newspaper entitled Mining News. And back on February 18th of 1854, the Sierra Citizen reported as follows: "Perhaps in no part of the state have such changes taken place as on the headwaters of the several branches of the Yuba. Soon after the tide of emigration began to roll into this country, some adventurous individuals, not satisfied with the riches of the bars below, followed the course of the river farther and farther until at length they had arrived at the forks, which was then considered almost equal to the achievements of Mungo Park." Now, I used my Google machine to find out who Mungo Park was, and apparently in the late 1700s, he was a Scottish explorer who did some exploring in deepest, darkest Africa, and so he was quite a celebrity back in the day and would have been a point of reference for people in 1854. After the approach of winter, they returned to the lower settlements with such bewildering stories of whole pans full of gold that could be had for the digging, that in every spring, every steamboat ox wagon was freighted with all sorts of people, with all sorts of indescribable apparatus with which they confidently expected to exhaust the resources of the Yuba in an incredibly short space of time. The fame of the Yuba spread far and wide, and then commenced a general rush to its headwaters. No matter how rich the claim might be on the bars below, it was abandoned under the impression that if the river was so rich low down, there must be mountains of gold at its source. The general idea then was that the thin scales found below had been washed down from some monstrous gold hill above. Hence, everyone was desirous of pushing as far as possible into the mountains, thinking that the farther he could get, the better would be the opportunity of realizing extravagant visions that half demented him. Since then, one cannot travel in any direction without meeting prospecting parties, looking for some gold lake, some burrowing in the hillside, while under the nearest tree, another party, half discouraged, half hopeful, are smoking their pipes around a campfire, trying to resolve the perplexing question whether it is better to continue wandering through the mountains and take their chances, or to return to the river and to work for $5 a day. So there you have it, gold seekers. I would call that rather irrefutable historical documentation that the old timers did in fact make smoke offerings to Mother Yuba. So next time you're out looking for gold, relax, take your time, and make your smoke offerings to Mother Yuba. Hey, see you next time. Aloha.